it will happen. Mapapasubon siyan mo sa handaan. May
Growing up on the early days of the internet, it wasn't uncommon to come across dozens of copy pastas and chain letters posted throughout all corners of the internet. I remember some nights as a kid frantically searching for people to send these to so that some generic picture of a ghost doesn't appear under my bed at 3 a.m. Most of these chain letters consisted of the classic, send this to 10 people or you'll get bad luck forever, and the more creepy letters that were meant to scare us into reposting them, but some of these letters over time developed into straight up scams that were illegal to share and could possibly hurt others. Today I wanted to look back into the interesting history of these strange and obscure chain letters and copy pastas, and find the origins of where they came from and why they were so prevalent in the early days of the internet. I wanted to start this off by giving everyone some protection spells from the so-called cursed chain letters we're going to be seeing. So here's the classic safety turtle. I also got immunity gecko, immunity dog, and just to be safe, I got safety kitty for you guys too. If you're unfamiliar with chain letters and copy pastas, a chain letter is a message that's sole purpose is to be spread around to people as much as possible. Oftentimes the letters will include some form of manipulation to get the person to spread it to others, usually claiming that if the person spreads the message, they'll be rewarded, or there'll be negative consequences if they don't spread it. A copy pasta is a bit different, being exclusive to the internet and consisting of a block of text that's purpose is to be copy and pasted around different web pages and groups, usually with no emotional manipulation involved, unlike chain letters. While chain letters would see rapid growth on the internet due to the ease of sending messages instantly around the world, they've actually existed for hundreds of years, with one of the earliest known instances suspected to be from the 6th century. This letter, titled Letter from Heaven, was allegedly found by a young boy who was hiding it under a rock. The boy claimed that the letter was written by Jesus, and basically states that Jesus has changed the Sabbath from Saturday to Sunday. The letter goes on to read, "He that copieth this letter shall be blessed of me, he that does not shall be cursed." Sound familiar? By the 1900s, the postal service was becoming more reliable and it was much more accessible to send letters across the country. So this pretty much meant chain letters were about to see a huge boom in popularity. It started in the early 1900s, with the letters keeping the same religious tone. This archived chain letter from 1905 reads, "Dear friend, I have been requested to ask 5 friends to join us in prayer that God will bless the missionaries in their work and raise up young men and women to go forth with the glad tidings to those who have never heard. Please write copies of this letter to 5 friends, without delay, giving to each the number next to this. Send each to one you know who will fulfill the These types of chains were meant to be publicly spread in different forums and discussions online via copy and paste. Any forum you went on during this time period that had a decent user base was flooded with these copypastas. Inside joke chains, share to 5 other forums for good luck chains, troll chains, and much more. GameFAQs and the Something Awful forums in particular are really big ones that I've seen pillaged with these messages in the early 2000s, solely just because they were some of the biggest online forum boards at the time. Copypastas wouldn't get the name copypasta until 2006 when 4chan coined the term. 4chan was also home to some of the most infamous copypastas of this time, such as the Navy SEAL copypasta, the Katie the Penguin of Doom copypasta, and the This Is Bob copypasta, which was one of the first major copypastas spread to the YouTube comment section. 4chan also coined the term creepypasta in 2007, which is a piece of digital folklore or a copypasta with a horror element. This is most likely what most of you watching are familiar with, as if you were younger and browsing the internet during this time, you were most likely scared by these types of copypastas. Most of the creepypasta copypastas, for some weird reason, revolved around the story of how a younger kid passed away, and how if you don't share this post with 10 of your friends, their ghost will come to your room at 3 a.m. A lot of the more infamous examples of this are the Teddy, Clarissa, and Carmen Winstead copypastas, which, like I mentioned, explain the story of how they passed away in a horrific way and how they haunt kids who don't share chain letters. Hi, my name is Carmen Winstead. I'm 17 years old. I am very similar to you. Did I mention to you that I'm dead? A few years ago, a group of girls pushed me down a sewer hole to try and embarrass me. When I didn't come back up, the police came. The girls said that I had fell and everyone believed them. The police found my body in the sewer. I had a broken neck and my face was torn off. Send this message to 15 people after you read the whole message if you value your life. A boy called David received this message. He just laughed and deleted it. When he was in the shower, he heard laughing. He got really scared, rushed to his phone to repost this message, but he was too late. The next morning, his mom entered his bedroom and all she found was a message written in his blood saying, "You will never have him back. No one has found his body yet, because he is with me. Send this to 15 people in the next 5 minutes if you don't want your fate to be the same as David's. Your time starts now." The story is true, you can research it on Google. These stories were aimed at scaring younger kids at the time, so I guess it's kinda no surprise that the story's creators used the ghost of a younger kid to kinda resonate with the kids that they're trying to scare. I mean, I know it worked on me. I spent many nights as a kid coming across these and scrambling for people to send these to so that I'm not cursed by Carmen Winstead. I'm sure my grandma was confused when she checked her email and saw me sending her like 20 different stories about ghost children haunting my bathroom at night. MySpace was a huge platform for these cheap horror copypastas and chain letters, as a ton of younger kids were using the site at the time. Since you had a friends list that you can instantly message these letters to, it started a whole cycle of just sending these chain letters to each other in order to free yourself from Clarissa's spirit. But it wasn't until social media algorithms started to get really advanced that we would see the biggest boom in online chain letters and copypastas. One more thing that I wanted to mention from this era is that in 2010 a movie was released titled Chain Letter, which was a slasher movie revolving around online chain letters. Basically, the plot is a group of friends receiving emails from someone anonymous that state if they don't share the email with 5 other people, then they'll die. Pretty simplified, but very similar to a lot of the chain letters spread around this time on the internet. Some of the friends don't share the chain email in the movie, which results in a slasher appearing in their town and going after them. I thought it was pretty silly that the slasher used actual chains as a weapon, but it's whatever. The movie was not good and received pretty horribly by audiences and critics, but like, what did you expect from a 2010 gimmicky slasher movie about evil emails? The vibes of the movie are so nostalgic and telling of the time though, and honestly I think it's one of those fun bad movies, so not all was horrible. I don't know, I still think it's pretty cool that the supposed cursed online chain letters were so popular at this time that they were able to make an entire film about it, even if it went triple negative in the box office. With social media booming in popularity, it would become the perfect breeding grounds for online chain letters and copypastas. Like I mentioned before, everyone had easy access to their friends list on these social medias for instant messaging and sending of these posts, and the majority of social media platforms started to become accessible to kids who were gullible enough to mass spread these. Specifically, Instagram would see a ton of these cheaper chain letter slops as a lot of middle schoolers started to use it in the early to mid 2010s. I remember being in middle school and opening my Instagram direct messages only to see all of my friends spamming me with the 90% of people marry their 7th to 12th grade love. Since you have read this, you will be told good news tonight. If you don't repost this, your worst week starts now. Or another huge type of chain from this era would be these weird Notes app scavenger hunt style posts. I remember aggressively scanning these posts trying to find each emoji like it was the wanted minigame for Mario 64 DS. Now that I think about it, a lot of the chain letters from this era were clearly directed towards middle schoolers, with a ton of them stating things like, if you share this with 10 people, your crush will ask you out. If you open this, you will get kissed, hugged, or asked out tomorrow. But if you break this chain, a girl named Katrin will be in your bathroom tonight. You have 15 minutes to send this to 15 people. Your time starts now. Who is Katrin? The text doesn't even claim her to be some demon or ghost or anything. Just a regular girl named Katrin spawning in my bathroom at night. Social media algorithms were also perfect for spreading these posts around. If you've seen one of these posts and share or like them in order to be not cursed or have bad luck, then your feed or explore page will keep showing you more and more chain posts because the algorithm thinks you want to see them because you're sharing and liking them. This creates an endless cycle of you being stuck with these chain posts. This caused some parents and online news outlets from this time to write articles about how damaging these types of posts can be for kids, as they ended up becoming so common because of the social media algorithms, and they're basically just meant to scare kids. However, tweens were not the only main distributors and victims of these chain letters during this era. If we take a look at the other social media platforms, Facebook was home to a different but familiar genre of chain letter and copypasta being spread in mass but by older people. These Facebook grandma chain posts were spreading like crazy, all of which being religious. If you have a God-fearing grandma who was on Facebook during this time, then you for sure saw her commenting on the classic, "Mine will ignore fast." Share if you love Jesus, 99% of you won't. It seems like as long as you know what your target demographic fears and loves, then you can easily manipulate them into sharing these chain posts and copypastas no matter what their age is. Facebook would also see older people sharing a new type of chain letter that isn't so innocent. Remember how I mentioned the physical mail letters sometimes hosting charity or giveaway scams? Well, just like with the religious chain letters, we've also seen a full circle with the scam letters coming to the online world as well. One of the most popular instances of this was in 2015, where Facebook would start to see these secret sister chain letters being spread around that were just entirely scams. These posts were pyramid scheme-esque chains that would require you to send an item or a certain amount of money to one person in order to receive a large number of gifts or money in return from all the other people involved. Ladies, let's create some positivity over the next few weeks leading up to the holidays. Anyone interested in a holiday gift exchange? It doesn't matter where you live, you are welcome to join. I need 6 or more ladies of any age to participate in a secret sister gift exchange. You only have to buy one gift valued at $10 or more and send it to one secret sister. Afterwards, you will receive 6 to 36 gifts in return. It all depends how many ladies join. These posts are straight up illegal, and it didn't take long before Facebook started to crack down on them. Your grandma went from sharing pictures of Jesus arm wrestling Satan to straight up Ponzi scheme scams. With the turn of the decade, it was becoming less and less common to see online chain letters on your feed or in your inbox. So where did they go and why did they disappear? I came up with a couple theories as to what probably happened. One of the main reasons is probably the rise of short-form content. After TikTok, every social media platform started to spam short-form videos into their UI. This shifted social media away from text and image-based sharing, which really hurts the ease of sharing the chain letters. It's a lot harder to create and share an entire video rather than just copying and pasting some text. Another big reason is, sadly, the loss of novelty. It was a lot easier during the Wild West days of the internet to scare new users with these fresh, eerie posts, but by the 2020s, they become too formulaic and lost all sense of superstition, as online literacy is just too high now, even in younger kids. This has also led to people mocking them and making memes of some of the most infamous online chain letters, which just takes even more away from them. I remember the Carmen Winstead story getting dunked on a few years back with that TikTok meme of it.
Hi, my name is Carmen Winstead.
Throat stress dahil sa puya? Mag-doctor prescribe Kaminosan for calming, soothing relief.
Hi, my name is Carmen Winstead. Hi, my name is Carmen Winstead.
Another big example of this was the My Child Will meme back in 2022. Someone on Reddit took the original My Child Will Type Amen chain post from the mid-2010s and ironically started putting super silly stuff over it to make fun of it. This went on for a little while, until some people started to put QR codes of pirated software in the Jesus half, so it became bannable to share. This type of post-irony humor that the internet has leaned onto is perfect for making fun of these older internet chain letters. While making this video, I have seen one case of chain posts still existing in the online world, and that's on TikTok. These types of chain posts are very similar to the older ones. This is your final message. Take it seriously. It doesn't matter if you skipped all other sounds, but if you skip this one, it's over. You will live the best life possible, have a lot of fun, money, and a long relationship with your crush. Don't risk skipping. Ignore this and it's over. Interact 3 ways to claim. These type of TikTok chain posts are lame in my opinion. What happened to making these and spreading them just for the love of the game? The religious chain letters that grandma spread on Facebook is still sporadically spread around, but I haven't organically seen one in years. I had to go out of my way to search for one. But yeah, I couldn't find much more of current day chain letters and copy pastas, but if you guys know of any or have seen any floating around your feed, let me know in the comments. Unless social media and the internet space as a whole makes a drastic change, I doubt we'll ever see a meaningful resurrection of these online chain letters, which I guess makes me happy and sad at the same time. While in nature they are annoying, they were still a big part of people's childhoods and an example of early internet nostalgia and wonder. Stop! Now that you've watched this entire video, it's too late. You must share this video with 5 friends, or else Balloon SpongeBob will be under your bed at 3 AM tonight. You have 5 minutes starting now to share. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like and comment if I missed anything, or if you have any suggestions for what I should cover next. That's all from me. Have yourselves a damn good one.